x2viper's movement guide. Here on episode 1, we will be learning how to tap strafe on controller, which you have probably seen me do in a lot of my Apex videos, where I can tap strafe. It's very subtle, but you may know how I do it. It's not really a tap strafe, it's just a little movement trick. And it's really easy to do. You might be able to notice it. So let me just show you. I am on controller. You can see that I have the buttons. And right here it says I'm on PS4. And you can only use a controller on console for Apex. You cannot use a keyboard. So as you can tell, I am on controller. There's no keyboard. This is my sensitivity. This is all my settings. You can pause it at any moment to see. These really don't matter. Video, field of view, has to be max. Minimal sprint, view shake. Brightness just depends on your screen. But my settings and my button layout is everything. It's how I'm so good at movement on controller. So let me just show you tap strafe. You could probably see it there. That's a tap strafe. It's very subtle, but you may know how I do it. So first, let's get into the basics of what a tap strafe is. A tap strafe is a movement technique commonly used on PC, aka keyboard and mouse. And what you do is you're moving forward, and then you double jump, or like you're crouching, and then you do a crouch jump. And you save all of your momentum by switching the direction immediately. So on PC, it's really easy because you just hold forward. And if you're doing it on a jump pad, when you're about to hit the jump button, people do this with scroll wheel. What you do is you immediately press left, right, or back, and then do your scroll wheel at the exact same time while turning your camera to whatever direction you're doing it. So like you will turn the camera backwards, or you'll turn the camera right or left, and then it'll save all the momentum. Hello, Nana. I'm doing a movement guide. So that's basically the basics of what a tap strafe is. On controller, nobody knows how to do it except for very few people like me. Where we have found our own techniques to do it. There are people like Finesse and people like, I don't know, the only person I watch that is a movement controller player is Finesse. But this is how to do tap strafe on either a PS4 or an Xbox. And I'm sorry if you play on Switch. I'm not even going to say Switch because it doesn't count. It is terrible. Like, it honestly shouldn't be a thing. And I can't even say mobile because that's a whole different game. But the only person I know that knows how to tap strafe on controller is Finesse. He doesn't really do it in any of his videos. He only does it like once or twice on his whole YouTube channel, but I do it all the time. On controller, you can only do it left or right. You cannot do it backwards. Tap strafe backwards is literally impossible. Like, there's no way to put it. It's literally impossible. But tap strafe left to right is still useful. For, like, quickly peeking around a corner. Like, for example, like this. And then, like, they wouldn't expect you to have such speed going around a corner on a console. Like on PS4 and Xbox, you don't expect somebody to come around the corner really fast like that. So like, hello, like that. Or like wall bouncing and doing it. Like, people on console do not expect that. On PC, everybody expects it. Because they expect you to be playing on a keyboard or mouse. But, anyway, this has been going on for a little bit of just ranting of what a tap strafe is. But let's get into actually how to do it. First, the movement. Like, I'm talking what you're doing midair. You need to be holding forward and left or right, depending on what you're doing, at the same time, so diagonally. As you can see, I'm still running, but I'm moving right diagonally. Now you can clearly tell how I tap strafe now. I do this, but it looks like I'm moving forward, because when you're mid-air, you really don't pay attention. But I'm moving forward, but I'm facing left. And so basically on ground, you crouch, and when you jump, you let go of it for a split second. It's so hard to see. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't even do it. I literally just let go very slightly and then hold it. Well, it's not really letting go. It's holding diagonal, but then immediately switching to the position fully. So like, I'm running right diagonally, then I immediately just do right. So like, as you can see, I'm going slow, I'm not sprinting, but diagonally, then immediately. This is my movement midair. It's very hard to see, but when you mix it in with a crouch jump, it's not even noticeable. And now, technically, this is not a tap strafe. This is just an advanced form of, like, crouch jump. This is definitely just an advanced form of crouch jump. Move it in a direction sharply. Not a tap strafe. But, you know, I'm gonna keep calling it a tap strafe because it basically is one for controller players. It's really hard to do. And I really don't use it much, but when I want to look flashy, I will. So, like, I'll move around a corner really fast, pull out my R9, and beam the guy. And now, to actually, like, what you'll do on the jump pad, like, the jump pad movement. So, what normal people would do is they'll just slide jump into the jump pad. Then they'll press double jump and then slide while turning in a certain direction. So like, so they'll basically just be like, and it's nowhere near close to a tap strafe. It's not even moving sharply. It's moving smoothly. A tap strafe is about moving incredibly sharp. So what people would just do is just like, and like, that is not a tap strafe, but that's what people think it is. And here is another thing. So people will just probably do it like, and as you can see, I lose a lot of momentum. Like, I lose a lot of momentum doing that. So just like, you see how I lost a lot of momentum there. And my technique, you do not lose a lot of momentum. But it's incredibly hard to do, so sometimes I may mess up. As you can see, moving to the left diagonally. Tap strafe. On controller. Boom. There was a person in the stream for a second. But yeah, that's how to tap strafe on controller Apex. It's incredibly hard to do, and I do mess it up quite a bit. Anyway, that was episode 1 of x2viper's movement guide. That was a little sneak peek of next episode, which is, I think it's like tap and tap, zip line, tap jumping, whatever the hell. It's like, it's not really that easy to do on controller. It's like incredibly hard. You need like an extended stick in order to do it. It's incredibly hard unless your interact button is like already something that you can reach without having to move off of your right stick. So for example, square is what I use for interact. It's how I ride the zip line. Something that people would do, like your interact would be on right stick, and for me right stick is phase, particularly for Wraith. It's my ability. It's not my ult, it's my active ability, I think it's called. Tactical. My tactical is my right analog stick, press down, which a lot of people have on crouch, and I do not have it on crouch. I have it as my tactical. But interact for me, for example, it's how you reload. It is square, so I have to remove my finger from the right analog stick. I have an extended stick, so I can move it with the left part of my thumb. Like I'm not touching my analog stick right now. I'm using the side of my thumb, so I can press square while still using the stick. I can still press square. So for example, but it's incredibly hard to control. So that's how I do this. Like, I turn the camera, the part of my thumb, because I don't have enough time to put it on the stick. Because I gotta immediately press it again and into a jump. It's the reason why I have my controls like this. It's why I have my controls like this. R1 for jump. L1 for crouch. Interact is square. And then like obviously everything else, but these are the most important binds right here. Interact, crouch, and jump for movement. They are the most important ones. Because what you're going to be doing the most is you're going to be crouch jumping, B hopping, tap strafing, and most commonly zipline jumping. And I use all three of these buttons together when I zipline jump. I slide into it like that. I slide into it, and then it's a slide jump right into it. And then I just spam interact and jump, so that as soon as I get on the zipline, I'm gonna jump off. So like that. And by the way, I'm not giving a tutorial, I'm just giving a little sneak peek. It's how I'm just telling you my keybinds for it. And then I'll go over in full detail next episode. So yeah, these are my keybinds to specifically do this. But what you'll most commonly see on movement people like fade is you'll see stuff like double zipline jumps like that, or even triple. That's incredibly hard to do on controller, and I can barely do it. Yeah, these both tap strafe and zipline jumping are very good movement techniques to learn, and which is why I'm doing the first. It's why I'm doing the first episodes based around them, because these movement techniques are the best. So in episode 2, I'll show you situations where zipline jumping is effective, and the specific movement and button placement, finger placement, and how you should be using your controller in order to be doing this. I'll go over all of that in full detail in next episode, episode 2 of x2viper's movement guide of Apex Legends on controller.